Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to share some content regarding ego and how the structures of that might show up in your reality through the physical body, so as in like physical sensations, and then follow that up with how, as awareness is growing in your reality, explaining how that might show up in the moment as well, and just kind of transmute that energy or shift it into something else that you understand in a little bit of a different way. So I was in Kansas City just yesterday. I drove, it's like a 14-hour drive. I was there for United States Gymnastics Congress and the national championships for gymnastics. So anyways, I was driving home, and probably about 7 or 8 hours in, the lower body's starting to get tight, legs are cramping up, back is getting a little bit sore. And part of my intention for that trip was just to kind of like sit with the music off. I did that for probably about 12 of the 14 hours on my trip, but just like sit with the music off and just have awareness kind of be very present in my body, and just kind of notice what was happening, notice thoughts that were coming up, notice physical sensations. So partway along the trip, when the body started to cramp up, just from sitting so long, this kind of energetic presence kind of crept up in my body, and I could feel a lot of my energetic flow pushing from out of my body up into kind of my headspace. And that's what happens when awareness kind of, I guess when the ego tries to show up in your field of awareness, it tends to push a lot of your energy up into the headspace, and that's why you have that constant stream of thinking that really kind of like keeps you awake at night, or keeps perpetuating that problematic feeling or sensation throughout your system. But anyways, I felt this energetic push in my system come up, and it was pushing that awareness up into my headspace. And then this thought crept up, and it was like, gosh, I really want to get out of this vehicle. I've been sitting in here a long time. It's like, how much longer do I have on my trip? When am I going to be home? And this perpetual thought stream just kept going and going, and it was playing off into the future, and it was resisting the present moment, saying, I don't want to be here anymore. It's a very uncomfortable situation, and how much more time is it going to be until the future, in that future moment when it's going to be something that I can tolerate or feel much more comfortable in my system. Which is, I mean, it's true to one extent. The energy in the system, or the awareness in the system, wanting to be in that future moment, or wanting to be out of the pain that's in the present moment, or the physical body, does make sense. But at the same time too, that's just the play of ego also as well, and how it shows up in the system, where it's like, I'm not comfortable with the present moment, and I need that future moment to feel better. And that was that flow of energy that was trying to perpetuate thinking in my system. So as awareness grows and expands in your system, what changes is that instead of that thought stream just really continuing and building a lot of momentum, and then ego takes over and you kind of just lose awareness in the moment, and that thought stream just keeps going and going, the awareness comes in, and it notices the physical sensations, and it notices the thought forms that are attached to it, and it just shows up as another play of life, not something or a story that you need to buy into. Like you might feel physically uncomfortable from sitting in a vehicle for 7 or 8 hours without getting up and stretching or anything, but you don't lose yourself in that reality anymore, and the play of life is allowed to show up, right? It just, you accept it, or awareness knows that acceptance of the present moment and what shows up is perfect. Now, what's actually wonderful about that too, as awareness deepens in your system, is that you now have a lot more choice in that moment as well. So instead of sitting in the pain, which, I mean, I sat with it for a little bit longer, you can make that choice to be with it, but you can also make that choice to maybe pull over, stop at a rest area or a gas station, and get out and stretch for a few minutes and give the body the rest. And it's really neat, because it's almost as if present moment awareness or consciousness, it's almost like as these new experiences show up in your system and you become more and more aware of them, it's like awareness is a light bulb turning on each time. And each time a new light bulb turns on, it stays on. And it's like ego is that darkness that light is kind of dissipating and just clearing in your system. So instead of ego having so many channels that it can flow through in the future, As those lights come on, it kind of, it's like it's almost cutting off the life source of the ego. So it only has a few energetic pulses that it can run through your system, and then it kind of dissipates. So anyways, I've had a lot of questions come in around just kind of personal examples. So I'm going to share more and more of that with you. And then if there's any other questions you have, be sure to send them my way. I'm happy to share. Thank you.